happy Wednesday. My name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Hedgie, where we make cute embroidery kits for the beginning crafter. And I am here every weeknight at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. That's 9:30 Eastern and 6:30 Pacific. And it's a time for us to relax and craft. So tonight, you guys, we are continuing on the Granny Square quilt. Here is all of it. There are 36 blocks total. Here is our one from last night. So we are going to continue on making blocks. We're going to work on another block tonight. So thank you guys again for joining me. Let's get started here. All right. Okay, I got my bags already. It's nice to see y'all popping in again. Thanks for joining me here, you guys. I see a lot of you are over on Facebook and some people popping into YouTube. All right, you guys. Here is where we're at. I think we have 11 of these done now. Or maybe it's 12. What are we up to? Today's Wednesday, so we have 11 done. Tonight will be our 12th. Ooh, it'll be fun. I want to lay all these out and take a photo of them when we're done. That'd be kind of fun, but here we go. All right, so I already have the strips all sewn from last night. So it's crazy that something like this starts off with just our strips that are all different lengths sewn together. So we have them stair-stepping now. And this is going to be our block for tonight. So let's get cutting. We're already at the cutting stage, which is great. Yesterday we did have to sew for a little bit before we could cut. Okay, let's trim all of our segments. So thank you guys for joining me. All the PF friends. Hey, Debbie. Hey, Christy. Oh, here, Nilda, let me show your post there. There we go. All right, you guys. Let's cruise through this block tonight. So I think over the past couple nights, we got the hang of it again. I know this is kind of crazy to cut with everything all wobbly and not pressed, but we do have extra amounts of edge here, so we will have enough. This one's going to be a little lighter. I'm excited to see how it turns out. Okay, let's press. Going to get the cute little pressing mat out again. I'm seeing how we can cruise through this one. Oh, Big Thunder by you, Grace. So actually, I think they mentioned that we might have a thunderstorm again tonight, but right now it seems totally fine. So we'll see how that goes. All right, pressing the even ones, the seam allowance away. We're going to try and cruise through this tonight. I want to see how fast we can get through one of these. Get the front. All right, the one with the odd number strips, we are pressing the seam allowance towards the teal. So we're trading off away from the teal and towards the teal. All right, scrolling. Here's the 4. So you guys, I sent out the first batch of Embroidery of the Month bundles. So the first batch of the Stitchin' Hedgie bags went out today, and I'm hoping to get a whole pile more of them done tomorrow. So yours should be in the mail soon. So thanks again, you guys, for getting that. I think it's going to be a fun one to stitch together this month. I'm excited. Ooh, I like that that dark blue that's gonna pop up in here. That's gonna be fun. All right, and one more. So let me know if you guys are away from the teal. Let me know if you guys are working on this. I know a lot of you guys are, but has anyone just started? Or I'm curious what step you're on. If you're on the cutting step, or are you starting the blocks, or are you all done with the blocks? Have you done the border? Are you done with the whole thing? I'm curious. Ooh, Kathy, you're getting thunder now too. Yeah, we might get something. Later tonight yet, but yeah, like I said, I haven't seen anything yet. Although maybe now it is getting a little darker than usual for this time. I don't know. We'll see. All right, so next up, let's trim all these. We're going speedy today. So I'm going to line all these up. We'll use this line as our main cut line. So I'm just going to cross over the edge, and I'm going to try and I'm just kind of lining this teal with parts on the ruler, just so I can have that nice trimmed edge. And I'm just going to keep finding a line and placing the next teal on there. And they're all going to cross over this edge just a little. All right. Kind of layering them. I think I'll come back up here and layer more. Still trying to line up this edge though, so it doesn't end up being super crooked. Oh, you're still working on block making, not working on this yet. Oh, too many masks to catch up on. Oh, that's good. That's awesome that you're making masks. There's definitely still needed. Oh, too many seams for you, Rebecca. Oh, Renee's making blocks for her second. Dang. All right, let's trim this edge. So we had plenty of edge, and that's why I knew I could just kind of roughly cut these without pressing them beforehand. Zoop. Okay, we got that first nice edge. Now I'm just going to rotate my whole bit there. This is kind of pretty with just these teal stripes like this. I kind of like it just as it is, pretending this is all sewn together. All right, we got today and 2 more days on this, so 3 more blocks. Okay, shimmy this away. I'm excited for this dark blue line. That'll be pretty neat in here, I think. All right, try not to shift them, although I've bumped it a couple times already. All right, 1 more. Lots of extra here. All right, time to sew. Let's get this all organized and we'll start sewing. Cruising on it. All right, let's gather like with like, I think. Go. Those are our 2 pieces. Oh, Sally's pulling fabrics. Oh, Christy's starting a new landscape embroidery. Ooh, excited to see how that goes. Oh, you're making masks. Rebecca's making masks for her nephew and his girlfriend. That's awesome. Oh, Tracy taking a couple days off. That is perfectly fine. All right, I have them all kind of organized in their like stacks. So the one with 6 in, we're setting aside for later, along with, now we got to grab our single pieces here. So we need 4 of these onesies. Okay, 3, 4. All right, and then we need to get out one of our center squares. So we're using that pink as that center square. It is so handy having these all divided up in their little baggies, I gotta tell you. This is the non-thinking of this part, because we're all organized, is just making it so relaxing. Oh, you belong there. Okay, so here are our stacks. So I'm going to start sewing just like how we have been, by sewing all of these rows, these columns first, then we'll sew all these to it, then these, then these. So we're just going around and around on the machine again. Same as what we've been up to. All right, let's shimmy to the machine. Okay. Sorry, just getting a little situated. All right, we'll go right like that today. So I have the next strips already on the machine. Oh, you guys, I forgot. All right, well, this will be fun. We get to play around with the machine a little bit. Remember last night we ran out of bobbin. So we get to start today by making some bobbin. All right, which is kind of fun with this old machine. So let's look at, first of all, this is my late 30s, early 40s Kenmore sewing machine. Oh, I think you can see it a little bit better like that. But here is the bobbin area. It is on the side, which is a bit different than mine. And you gotta kind of flip this out, and then you can grab it with your fingernails. And that's what the bobbin on these look like. So a little, again, different than my other one. You know, it's centered. It's got this pointy bit in the center. We'll see if I can thread it again. So here we go. And now this goes right on this little piece here. So this is just another wheel. And then when I put it up, the wheel goes right against the wheel, the big wheel of the sewing machine, and that's what's going to spin for the bobbin here. So, all right, let's get the thread from the top and give this a little go. It's fun figuring out these old sewing machines. Definitely have a lot to learn about them, but they're fun. Fun. I like being able to rescue them, I guess. I would love, like, someday some room just filled with sewing machines. I think that would just be the coolest. All right, I'm gonna turn the dial on my wheel here so that my needle doesn't go up and down, and then we should be good to go. So we're filling up the wheel. Full speed. All right, so I'm going to slow down and stop. I don't think it stops by itself, this one, so let's snip it. Pop that back down, tighten my wheel again. Ooh, come off of there. There we go. So, all good to go. All right, so let's attempt to thread this guy again. So let's see if I remember how to do it. So I think I go towards me with the thread. On my other machine, I go away, and I'm so used to that motion, and I think I remember that it's the opposite for this one. So the thread is going over the top and towards me, and then plopping it in, get that thread in this little nook here, then cross over to the other side, go down along this edge and come up, and then it catches here, right up in the middle there, and you should be able to hold, then you know that the tension is there, so you've threaded it okay, and we're good to go. Let's pop that back in. Cool. All right, and that's all there is to it. The other neat thing about this machine is that all of the mechanical bits, like the arm and the tension disc and all that, are on the side here. That's always the interesting first step of a new old sewing machine, is figuring out how to thread it. All right, we're good there. Now it still has to be threaded through this tiny hole here, which, I don't know, that seems like an odd design. I would have thought that they'd have like some special easy way to do that, but it doesn't seem that way. Okay. And we are back at it here. Now this one I move forward to bring the bobbin thread up. Okay, good to go. Get the plate back on. All right, you guys. We did it. So that is how this machine is threaded. They're all just slightly different, and it's just kind of fun to play around with. So, all right. Oh, you cleaned yours. Oh, try a different needle. Oh, are you having trouble with your sewing, Robin? Yeah, that's what everyone always told me is try a new needle. Oop, did I tighten this enough? We gotta get the tension going again here. Oh man, you guys, I might need to rough up this dial again. Hold on. All right, you guys. Here we go. So this is going to be one of those days. So right here is my wheel. Oh, I don't know if you guys can tell. Let's try and go right there. All right, so this is how this machine runs. It doesn't have a belt. It's just like the bobbin. It's just a wheel pushed up to here. And I need to actually rough this up a little bit. So I don't have any sandpaper, but I can just take my fingernail and kind of go across the edge here. So I think the problem is it's not gripping on the wheel anymore. So we just need to kind of rough it up. It's gone smooth again because it's just been used a bunch. So let's see if this helps at all. But isn't this neat? I had never seen I think it's called like a motor pulley. All right, it's still coming in contact, so I think I don't think I need to tighten the screw. Let's see if we can get it. Oh, yep, tic-tac-toe says the steampunk sewing machine. All right, hold on a sec. I'll get readjusted for you guys. There we go. All over tonight. Steampunk machine. All right, let's see if that helped. I might need to get it revved up to start. Oh, come on, little guy. All right, I'm holding down the... Well, this will be interesting if this is how we're sewing tonight. I'm holding down the motor harder against the wheel. This might be a bigger fix. Like I might actually have to have to rough that up, like find that sandpaper and work on this a little bit more. But I think that's definitely the problem, because when I hold the wheel harder against the larger wheel, it seems to be working again. Okay, this might be a little bit ridiculous tonight, but we do have bobbin thread again, so that's something. Don't you have a spare wheel? I do have a spare wheel, Gretchen, but it's the same. It's the same thing. That needs to be roughed up as well. So I'm gonna just see if we can get anywhere on this tonight. Let's put these two guys together. You're gonna trust the bracket and move it closer. It is closer, so I can't move it closer. I can tighten it, but it doesn't seem like it's loose, so it doesn't get closer. It's super simple and mechanical. It's a motor with a wheel. That is literally all it is, a giant motor with a small wheel. That is it. I suppose I could shift it a little bit, but that would even make less friction on it, I think, actually. So let's just see if we can go in slow motion. The act of just using it might get it going again. Okay, there, now it's starting to grab a little bit again. Goodness. Oh, your sister has an old, completely metal, Pfaff that she got when she was stationed in Germany. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Oh, I love like finding those old, just really interesting machines like that. I don't have the center wheel tight enough. No, the big wheel is definitely tight. So that's not the issue. I did have to loosen it to start, but I think it's definitely the smaller wheel when it attaches to the big wheel. Or it doesn't even attach, where it comes into friction with it, I guess. Let's look at the top and see what's happening. Yeah, it's just not wanting to hit. All right, let's see if we can do a repair tonight, you guys. I got all the stuff. We got the screwdriver, got this. Let's see. Oh, you know what? Haha. Thought I might have all this near me. Here is my sandpaper. So let's do some surgery, you guys. Tiny screwdriver. I do have all the things I need here. All right, let's look at the top here. So this is what's going on. Let me put the pedal down for a sec here. So this is the motor. It is attached to this motor pulley, which is that wheel. And this is actually, I actually can move the motor away, and I do move this away when I'm not working on it, because otherwise the wheel can get a dent in it. Like if you have it sitting like this for like ages and ages, it will get a dent. So when I'm not using it, I actually stuff a piece of fabric here so it is off the wheel, so there's no pressure on it. I am going to just tighten, well, I'll show you guys what this looks like. So here is the motor pulley. Oh, and that was pretty tight. So you can adjust it, but just back and forth. I can't adjust it backwards and forward like that. Yeah, this doesn't tighten. This is a spring. So here we go. So this is what a motor pulley looks like. You can see it's got even a dent in it already. I bought this new when I got the machine, just because the one that I had, I think it was worn down to nothing. And all it is a tube, and the screw holds it in place here. So let's just put that back. I'm going to align it with the wheel. All right, and let's tighten that up. You know, over the years, since we started with the Splendid Sampler, I've gotten to know my machines a lot better. Like I'm way more comfortable with them, fixing them, and I feel like I don't always have to bring it in anymore, which is kind of nice. Bring it into the sewing machine guy. All right, so here's my sandpaper. All I'm gonna do is I'm literally gonna rough this up. It's gonna get stuff all over my table. All right, so I'm just going to. All right. And see, we are roughing it up a little bit. That's what we're going for. We need that grip. So I'm gonna just go sideways. So this wheel, will get smaller and smaller with use, but that shouldn't really matter. That's why this is on a spring. So as this gets less and less, it goes closer and closer to the machine. I did order another one. So I do have another one if this one just gets too bad. But there we go. This is literally the repair, is roughing this up. And that hopefully will do the job here. Let's check it out. There we go. All right, it's starting to go now. Let's see how that did. Oh, I got my oil here. I should really do a whole oiling of this. That'd be fun to go through sometime with you guys, oiling this machine. It definitely is different than the other machine. There we go. There we go. All right, let's hope it gets happier again now. But it is fun. Oh yes, Arloa, very simple. It is definitely simple. Justin thinks I need tic-tac-toe. That's my brother. He thinks I need some diesel fuel with it. All right, I'm just trying to pull these two pieces apart. Come on. Oh, but yeah, it is just straight, simple as simple gets. A motor, a wheel, and the small wheel spins a bigger wheel, the end. That is it. That is all there is to it. Sometimes it just needs to get back into the swing of it. There, see, now it's feeling it now. Come on, guy. There we go. This block might end up being pretty wonky. I got these are not straight lines. Oh, there's our curfew buzzer. Oh, I hit the X faster on that. That made it go away quicker. Curfew! Go home, people. All right, it's feeling better. It's not feeling quite the same yet, but I did just do a lot of that roughing up, and I don't know, for some reason it always kind of needs to get into the swing of things again. So hopefully by the end of the day, like I'm having to give it a little spin on the wheel to get started. Maybe it's just because maybe I made it too tight. Here, hold on a sec. Maybe I'm gonna loosen the big wheel. So I just loosened the big wheel. We loosened it all the way so our needle wouldn't go up and down when we changed the bobbin, but maybe I tightened it too much. All right, I'm confusing myself now. All right, this goes like that. So maybe I tightened it too much, so I loosened it a little. Maybe it won't be so hard to spin around. No, I still need to turn it to get it rolling. Yeah, doesn't feel quite the same yet, but we're gonna get there. But it does kind of make me feel like I could work on a lawnmower or something now. I think this is a lot of reasons why oftentimes the sewing machine place is the same place that the vacuum cleaner's at. It's both like small motor stuff. Small motors and belts. Although this guy does not have a belt. All right, we have two more on this level. Oh, it's called direct drive in the motorcycle world. Oh, interesting, Paula. Ah, that's interesting. I think it's like, what is it called? I think it's called a motor pulley or something with the sewing machine. Oh, there it started on its own. Okay, come on, you're getting there, guy. All right, all right. Feeling better. Feeling better. Fresh bobbin. Sandpapered wheel. I did start a new needle when we started this project this week, so it has a new needle. And, come on. Just probably needs to be oiled again, too. Okay. Man, that took its time. So that is, though, the funny thing. There is a different feel to this motor pulley than a machine with a belt, because the belt, it like hooks into the wheel, so whenever it turns, you know it's going to turn. Here, it has that sliding motion, because it's just, it's two smooth surfaces, basically, against each other, and so it does this little rev up, and that's why it doesn't stop right away when I stop either, because the motor is slowing down. So I actually take my foot off the pedal a lot earlier than I would with a different machine, and then it just kind of slows itself down. Yeah, like I get at least a good stitch before it stops all the way. There we go. Once it gets rolling, it's fine, but yeah, that initial grab is not working all that great. All right, spin this guy. Oh, that one it started up right away. Honestly, I'm not quite sure why it just stopped working. It might have just... Oh, I have a hunch, actually. When I was spinning the bobbin, I was going really, really quickly, right? So I feel like maybe I was polishing that wheel smooth. That could have been the issue. So it was probably close to needing to be roughed up again soon anyway, but just the spinning the bobbin, because it's the same... That wheel was still touching it. Oh, I should have maybe pulled that wheel away. Oh, maybe I'll do that next. Oh no, because I need it for the motor. Oh wait, I'm confusing myself here now. So, oh, I can smell the motor now, you guys. But yeah, I need that wheel. So yeah, I guess I probably just kind of polished it smooth when I did the bobbin. If I had to guess, that's what's happening. All right, well, the block that I thought was going to go super fast, maybe not so fast anymore. But that was a repair that I needed to do, and I needed to do that bobbin. And it's always kind of fun doing work on these old machines, so I do kind of like that. This one especially. This one just feels as mechanical as it gets. Nothing to this machine. All right. On to the last row. Yep, it's going good now, Kathy, for sure. All right. Let's get our last segment on here. I always double check to make sure I get it on the correct side. All right, it's gripping better. It's feeling more like it usually does, so that's good. Ooh, wow. Yeah, these are not sewn well, though. Come on. There we go. I'm a little scared of my seam allowances for this block, especially compared to last night. We did such a good job at our seam allowances, getting those all matched up and the right size. This one's just going to be all over. I'm trying to just match up those seams so they are nested. Yeah, I'm fully letting go of the wheel and it's going still a couple more stitches. So that I had to get used to when I first started this machine. This machine's actually much easier to oil than my other machine. There's not these two holes, but there's holes on the rest of the machine that you just put a couple drops in. This is for attachments. I don't have any attachments for it, but like there's other little holes throughout here. It's a solid piece. I can't open it up like I can the other one. It's just interesting. All right, this is the last one here. All right, dare do we attempt to sew another strip to this guy? Hopefully it'll work. Maybe it'll get the machine running again well. So we have 2 pieces sewn. Let's get our next piece, our 28-inch strip here. So I'm going to grab a fresh one from here. We'll grab whatever this guy is. Okay, oh, Little Lions, we got this guy yesterday too, I think. Your motor sounds like it's a bit, tight and lagging. Maybe the big drive wheel needs some grease. That could, well, see, but I'm not sure. The big one it's moving just fine. Well, yeah, actually, that could make sense. Like if it's too tight, then it'd be harder for the motor to get it started. That makes sense. I've not greased a machine yet, though. I haven't graduated into that world yet. I'll oil it. So we'll start with oiling it and see if that does anything. But yeah, that would make sense, Nolene, that it just can't. Like maybe the grip is fine, but it's too tight that whatever grip I have, it's just not grabbing enough. That could be. Oh, look at these poor strips, how torn apart they are. They have been in that bag for too long. All right, getting there. All right, gonna go off the edge a little bit there, and we did that so we could release these pieces of our current block. So, all right, time to press and get these guys prepped again. All right, oop, I don't need the cutters, I need the iron. Scissors. All right, let's see how we did on these guys. Hopefully I didn't make any weird sewing mistakes. All right, let's press them away from our 5-piece. Okay. All right, first guy. So pressing those seams away from our last fiber. Good thing we worked on this a couple days already, just because I feel like I could pick right back up and know where I'm at. It always takes me each month a little time to get back into our weekly project. Oop, this way. Pretty. I can't wait to sew all these together. I can't wait for this to be a quilt, is I guess what I'm saying. All right. There we are, our 4 pieces. So now we can bring back our 6 pieces, our row of 6 here, and our little centerpiece. Let's arrange these. Then we throw the 6-piece on, making sure that that teal is on the top there. So we have our stair step. Oh, I think this green is really pretty next to the teal. All right, the center square. Another teal on the outside, teal on the outside. This is our first kind of glimpse at what this block is going to look like, and I always love this part. All right, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which one of these goes where. So I mean, you could exchange them if you didn't like the look of it or something. You know, I can go like that, and that's totally fine. Okay, so there we are. I love it so far. I really like this green next to the teal. I think that's fun. Always love that dark blue. Okay, so now all we have to do is I'm going to treat these as rows. So this is row 1, row 2, row 3, and then we'll sew the first 2 columns of each row. Then we'll sew the next column of each row, and then we'll have to take it off the machine again, press, and then squish them all together, sew all these rows together. So, all right. Let's sew. And we still have to nest all those seams together. So I did sew this all the way, so it actually doesn't go all the way the second time. I've been sewing all these rows. I have a shorter and shorter piece on them. I know that's a little bit different than the actual instructions, but I've kind of adapted those a little bit. I think it's been fun so far. This first match. I think I got those seams together. Yeah, there we go. Ooh, I might have a little wrinkle and a little crease in that one, or a little pucker. All right. Oh, I think my seam got turned around here. Let's... Oh, I think we're fine. Okay, row 2 is just these guys. Oh, this is your favorite part, seeing how they come together, Barbara? Yeah, I just, it's fun. Especially, the first few times we did these blocks, we would peek beforehand. Like, before we sewed all of these, like, triangle pieces together, we'd peek. I'd lay out the whole thing, which took forever. It took a lot of time. But it's kind of more fun seeing it now at this point. Oh, I just need a tiny amount of grease, and it gets thick and gluggy over the years. I might have to take apart that whole wheel and check that out, because I've not checked the grease situation. Yeah, I know when I've seen people, like on YouTube, repair machines, they degrease the whole machine because that cleans it up and stuff too. Especially if some part of the motor is not working or something, then they'll. Gosh, it's a whole process. I'm gonna have to look into that again. But then they have to put grease like back to it. So I don't even know. Like I don't know where I'd get grease or how that stuff works. So that might be my next adventure with the machine, is learning the world of grease in old machines like this. I have not, like I said, I have not graduated to that. But I do feel pretty good about not bringing the machine in all the time anymore. That was a win. Oiling was a win. I had never really done that before. And now I do it hopefully regularly enough. I don't know, I could probably do it more often. I'm just happy I figured out this bobbin a few weeks ago. That was its own mystery. Okay, next one. If you ever lose your spot, like I just confused myself, like where am I at? All you have to do is take the last thing on the machine, and that's your next, that's like the first thing you're working on, and it's what's up next. So that got me back into where I'm at. It's this middle row here. All right, last one off the machine again, and that'll be our last piece. Then I'll need another strip, because we'll need to get all of this off the machine. Then we'll press, sew our last little bits together, our last rows, and we're good to go. Actually, I do think this, I mean, I'm jumping the gun and saying it a little bit again, but I think this did go pretty quickly tonight. Even with stopping for working on the machine, I still think that this might have gone a little faster than last night. That's kind of fun. All right. The machine's starting to definitely feel normal again, like I forgot that it wasn't working here. Oh, look at these three together. That's going to be cute. All right, next strip is the 21 inch. Our last one was the 28. This is the 21. All right, closing my eyes and we're picking this one. I think I got two here. Ooh, look at this one. This one is bright. Bright green. Oh, that's true, Irene. You're right. It is Finish It Friday week. And you know what? I think I kind of want to work on the koala quilt again. But maybe I'll check around. So you're right. So we actually only have one more day of the Granny Squares quilt for the week, because the first Friday of every month, the first new Friday of every new month, is Finish It Friday. And that's where we break out one of our other projects that aren't one of our main projects, like an unfinished project, and we put some time into there. So I really, really, really do want to get this koala quilt done. It is so close, you guys. So maybe we'll work on that. Oh, Robin says she loves taking the machine all the way apart and putting it back. I was so scared to do any of that stuff, but I'm getting better for sure. I feel like my machine is scooching close and closer to the edge of the table. It's kind of scaring me. All right, let's sew to the edge again. Okay, let's press these pieces so we can sew them together. We are almost done with this block, you guys. Yay! And I think we survived. It's gonna work out fine. Machine's working. Okay, snip them apart. Ooh, that I stitched really closely. There. Okay, so here is where I want to press, you know, these want to go kind of inward, or like these are the seams I need to press, what we just sewed. I'm going to mimic what's happening on the edge here. I'm going to go press them both outward. I'm just going to try and hover on them a little bit, get them kind of going in the right direction. I don't want to really press right now because I don't want to, on any of these other seam allowances, to go in every direction. So, all right, I think they are open. I'm actually not pressing. I keep saying, I've noticed I've been saying I'm pressing those seams open, but I'm not. I'm pressing one seam to the left and one seam to the right. So they're going away from each other like an open seam, but we're not actually pressing the seam open. There we go. So I'll kind of show you what that means. So to press a seam open, that would mean I would take the actual seam here, and instead of pressing it one way or the other way, I would be getting in here and pressing them open like that. So the individual seam allowances, one side of the fabric goes one way and one goes the other. That's a lot of people's preferred method. I just have never gotten into that. I like pressing the seams in opposite directions for the nesting of the seams. I know that's not for everyone. A lot of people think that, for them, opening the seams helps them get better things lined up a little bit better, and then you don't have to think ever like what side or what way you need to press, because everything's just open all the time. So I understand that. That makes sense. But I just like that nesting them together. I think it's fun. All right, now these I'm going to go inward. There, one side. Other side, and then we'll get it from the front too. Oh, Nolene says that the Featherweight shop has a daily tutorial on pulling. Oh, interesting! Pulling a featherweight, which is an old Singer sewing machine, from the same time period, really. Pulling it bare, reconditioning, and putting it back together. That would be cool. Can I tell you again how you came up with the fabric strips? Oh, Barbara, yes. So these strips are different. We are doing different instructions than in the pattern. So in the pattern, what you would do, if you've been watching like all week here, in the pattern what you would do is sew the first two strips together. So the outside strip, in our case it's the teal, in the pattern it's the brown. It's actually a different size. This one's a little bit wider than this one. So the outer strip, then your next strip, which is the same length, those two you sew together, and then they have you cut 7 inches off of it. So pretend that this guy's not here. Pretend you just have 2 strips together. They say cut off 7 inches, and then this part you just set aside, but you cut off the 7 inches so you have the 2, and then you cut your segments of 2. That's this piece here. You know, the outer one sewed to the next one. So you cut them all, you press and then cut them all. So those are your 2 pieces. And then with the remainder, so now you have a piece, you know, that's shorter, that's 7 inches shorter, which happens to be the length of the next piece. So then you sew that length on, and then you chop off another 7 inches, press, and then cut your little segments, and then sew on. So then you've cut off 7 inches, which makes it the length of the next one. But you have to press each one, and you have to cut them all out individually. So what we got going with was like, well, what if I just sew all of them at once? So that's why I have this weird stair-steppy, which is awkward. It is weird. But then I just cut them at the edge, which is like that 7 inches. And then I have like the 2, this one's the 3, next will be the 4, 5, 6. I'll have all those. Then I press them all at once. So I'm doing all my pressing all at once. And then I've been layering them on top of each other so I can cut them all at once too. And that has been the big time-saving benefit, is the cutting all at once. Otherwise, I'm cutting this one individually, I'm cutting this one individually, and so on. So I'm saving myself, like, you know, 5 times of cutting over here. So that's why I'm sewing them in strips like this. I know it's not how the instructions are, but I think we're getting the same result. And I think that's the only place I've really done anything with the instructions. I think it's just silly and fun sewing these different length strips. It's kind of exciting. Here's our 4 piece. But yeah, that's why I'm sewing the different strips, and that's the part that's different than the book as well. Okay, so we got our 3 pieces. This guy gets sewn. Uh-oh, there we go. Gosh, I almost was going to sew it together like that. That's not right. There we go. Put that piece in the center. Okay. 2 more seams, and then we're done. Oh, Gretchen says that she had a bunch of batting delivered, so she's ready to sandwich a bunch of quilts. Sandwiching a quilt is when you take the front of the quilt, the back of the quilt, and the batting, and you get them together. After that, you can quilt them, which just means sewing them all together. Alright, this is our first seam down here. I've definitely done this wrong. I think last week or 2 weeks ago, or I mean last month or 2 months ago, I shifted it so it was like sewn like this instead of with the pink piece in the middle. So the whole entire thing like this, and then at the end it just looked weird. I'm like, something's wrong. Had to get the seam ripper out for that one. Ooh, we're going to sew another strip onto the next block. So I can get this off the machine. Oh gosh, this piece is not matching very well. Still getting it done though. Alright, our alarm might go off again really soon here, just letting you guys know. The like 30-minute warning for curfew. Okay, let's get our strip. All right, now we need that next strip so we can get this piece off the machine. So, this one's looking super cool so far. All right, this looks like the 21 inch. This is 35, 28, 21. All right, we need the 14 inch. Here we go. All right, closing my eyes. Ooh, another really dark one. All right, this is going to be a dark block. Actually, it's going to be... Oh, I got two of the same one there. Let's put one back. This is going to be fun, though. I'm excited for this block. This will be tomorrow's block. This will be the last block, this one that we're sewing right now, these strips. Our last block until July. Alright, there we are. Get this off the machine, and last seam for the night. Actually, we will have to sew one more of these, but then we'll be done. Okay, let's match this up. That looks good. Stiletto out here. Oh gosh, my seams are just all different widths on this one, so I suspect that this block might be a little small, but luckily we're cutting it, we're getting some leeway when we cut it down. So I think I'll still be within that I'll still get that 9-inch block out of this. Second half. It's definitely starting and stopping like it used to. So it's working its way out, I guess. Silly machine. But I like the theory of that the larger wheel needs to be maybe greased up a little bit. Okay, let's snip. And the 7-inch one. This is our last one for this block. So let's close our eyes and go with this one. Ooh, and then a super light one at the end. Oh, but it has some of that bright green in, like this bright green. So it'll kind of go all together, I think. Just a light center area. Huh, this one's gonna be different than the other ones. Oh, I'll finish it tonight, Bev. I'm definitely want to get this done. Oh, Leslie, for sure. I hope you're getting through it. Are the strips just scraps that you had, Barbara? Yes. So the strips are scraps. However, in theory, you need yardage for this. And what I mean by that is you need to cut these strips. I mean, some of these smaller strips, I can really use scraps because they're just 7 inches. I think that took me that's why it took me forever to cut all my strips, is because I was using just kind of scrap fabric that I had. But for these longer pieces, I mean, these longer pieces are like 35 inches long. So I'm cutting that from like a width of the fabric. So if you have like a bolt of fabric or like if you bought fabric by the yard or something, this is a pretty big length of that. So you can't use fat quarters, for example, which are only like 21 inches wide. So you could use that for some of these smaller ones, but not for the big ones. So even though these are scraps, they were large scraps, some of them, to get these long pieces. So you can use scraps. You just need to have, they need to be like bigger scraps, at least for those big pieces. But the small ones, I was able to get those. But it is, that was surprising to me when I first saw this block, because I thought for sure that all of these were their own little pieces, and I'm like, oh, I'll be able to use tons of scraps for this project because look at all these tiny squares. But little did I know that that is not how this was constructed. It's not constructed with a bunch of little squares. It was constructed with those long strips. So that was a surprise to me. So I was thinking that I would get to use smaller scraps, but really they were kind of rather large scraps. Okay, I'm gonna kind of get these open again. I'm just kind of hovering around them, suggesting that they be open. That one's being funny. All right, let's press. Just making sure they're again not open, but one to the left and one to the right. Yay, we're almost done, you guys. This did go faster than last night. That's crazy. We had a big detour tonight working on the machine for a little bit. But I think we are going to get done before we did last night. That's crazy. Oh, thanks, Barbara. Barbara says that this one looks gorgeous. So, you guys, we are both on YouTube and Facebook. I'm going to try doing a better job at, like, when I comment on someone's comment or question to kind of say who's saying it and read it, because I know if you're on YouTube, you're only seeing the YouTube comments, and if you're on Facebook, you're only seeing the Facebook ones. So sorry about that. I'll try and get better. All right, but here's what we are looking at here. I always think this part is fun because we've been working on it as a diamond this whole time, but zoop, that is what we're looking for. We just rotate it, and now we got a square, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, there's our block. Ooh, I do really like this. That is fun. I like this super dark area in the middle there. Fun! Okay, love it. Love it. All right, last part is we're going to grab our ruler again and try and cut this down to 9 inches. So again, I'm looking at the parts where this kind of point happens. So right on those point lines, I'm going to put the ruler, and then same thing with up here. So I'm going to start there. If you just have a straight ruler and you don't have the square, you can cut along those edges of one and then work your way around, but it is nice having the square. Okay, so I think I'm pretty well lined up on both these sides. So now my 9-inch line, because we're going to do these at 9 inches, should be along that edge as well. I think down here it's a little shifted, so I'm going to kind of do the difference between the two. But this side looks pretty good. All right, I think we're fine. So I think we got the ruler in the right spot. Let me get my glove on so I don't cut my fingers off. Okay, get that on. Shimmy those little triangles away. It's always fun. All right, and get this side. Ooh, that's always an awkward cut right there. All right, we got 2 sides. So now these 2 sides should be perfectly square because we cut them with the square. So now if I rotate it this way to get these other 2 sides, I should be able to put these 2 like perfectly nice lines on the 9-inch mark. Oh, this ruler has a 1/2 inch extra on both sides, so I gotta make sure that I'm on this side where I don't have that 1/2 inch. Otherwise, I'll accidentally cut it weird. But all right, 9-inch line, 9-inch line. Now it should line up with all those points again, and it is. So we're good. Let's trim And then this feller is done. Ooh, I shifted a little bit, so let's rejigger again. I think we're actually okay. There, we'll be fine. Looks like a little crown now with just the one row. All right. There we are. Let's check it out. All right. Totally faster than last night. There we are. Oh, I really like this one. I just like this green going into it, and we got little hints of green in other places, and then always when we get some of that really dark in there, I think that's fun. So, all right, there is tonight's block. Actually, here's last night's. I mean, look at these two together. They're so different. Oh, I just love how different all of these are going to end up being. I'm excited, you guys. All right, I'm going to flip you around, and we'll call it an evening here. There, hello. Nice chatting with you guys tonight. So here is tonight's. That is bold right in the middle there. And then here's last night's, just to see them next to each other. Those two are really different. I love it. This whole thing is going to be just different, all of them. So thank you guys again for joining me here. And thanks, you guys, for the embroidery of the month, purchasing those. The bundles are still available. They didn't. I made more this time, so they didn't sell out on the first day like how they have been. So we do still have some of them available. You did not miss out on that yet, and I will be shipping more tomorrow. Our first ones went out today, so some of you might have gotten your notification. And more will go out tomorrow. So thanks again, you guys. That's the embroidery of the month. You can check that out below, and also the link for this pattern if you want to work on it with us. We'll be working on it for a while. You will be able to catch up, so don't worry about that. So thank you guys again. It was nice chit-chatting, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a great evening. Good night.